All right, welcome back, WTNB. Good morning show, live from downtown Cleveland. Beautiful downtown Cleveland is the actual formal name. Formal name. Sorry.
Or historic.
Is it?
You can say historic section. Yeah.
It is rather old. Is that code for old, or is it just?
We've got a lot of historical buildings that are on the registry.
I know.
Yes.
Speaking of history and showing off the historic aspect of our town, how's that for a segue, Bryce?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do it, so.
Susan, who do you have with us today?
This is Emily Evers, and she works at the museum. We have the quilt show this week going on, and I brought her since I have a cold and I can't talk a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to let her talk to you a little bit about what she does at the museum and then about the quilt show. And if we have questions, we can ask. And love quilt shows. That's one of my favorite part of quilting.
And I've seen the quilt show at the museum a couple times. Do you do it more than once a year?
No. It used to be in January, February. But in the last couple of years, we've been running it in March, which is National Quilt Month. So they have all kinds of stuff all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
Contests, quilt shows, all kinds of stuff. So with National Quilt Month, this is a good time to have the show.
Okay. So it goes on all week or more than a week?
Usually, well, for the past few years, I've just taken on this gig, so to speak, this year. And it's run for 2 weeks. I think they ran it for the last 2 years. It was about 2 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah.
And what's your participation like typically?
Well, last year we got up to about 300 people came and they visited. This year we haven't tallied everything up yet. We'll close the quilt show out next Thursday, so we'll have to tally up all those and see how many we had visits. So.
I mean, like as far as, would they be vendors or would they be, what's the name you use for them?
No vendors. We might have vendors in the future, but it's participants as far as having quilts in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had 87 quilts. That doesn't necessarily mean 87 people. Some people they can submit up to 3 quilts, but we did have 87 quilts that were submitted this year. So
are these here in our region, or are they from different places?
Yes, they're all. I mean, you know, as far out they go as far out as Chattanooga, and I'm not sure where else further, but around this region, Bradley County, Polk County, out in Hamilton, and
right.
So do you have the fair aspect where you do like the best in show or the best in?
Yes.
We had a judge come out and we had 12 categories and she judged, gave first, second, third in each category, but she also chose 2 Judges' Choice Awards, or the ones that impressed her the most, and we had 2 people win. And so Susan she did all of our ribbons, and she made some really cute ribbons, and they were the big ones for the Judges' Choice Awards. So those 2 people got really big ribbons on their quilts this year. So
that's fun.
Yeah.
So did you put any quilts in there, Susan?
I did.
How'd you do?
Not ones that I made. Some I had in the shop. I was kind of watching and seeing which categories were a little bit low on participation.
Okay.
And so I, at the last minute, threw some in. A couple that I got from some estates, and then another on the wearable arts category, or the wearable quilts category. I had a little bag that a kid made in a summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I put in.
Okay. Awesome.
I've never been to a quilt show, so like, what would I expect to see if I went to a quilt show? Like, what am I looking at? Like, I've never been to one at all, so I have like no idea.
Well, I'll let Susan tell you about that. This is really
we might have to let you. Susan's still trying to work through this cold. So even though you're the rookie.
I can tell you what I experienced when I went to the AQS quilt show in Chattanooga.
Yes, that's a big one. Big.
Well, it's really big, and it's in, I'm not even sure what building that's called.
It was the convention center.
And you walk in there, and there's quilts everywhere. And in the center of this one, they had all sorts of vendors. They had people selling stuff. There was even sections where you could just sit down, and probably at a particular time, I didn't look at the schedule, but you could sit down and they would have demonstrations. You could learn about things, and then you could go see the quilt challenges. You can see all the quilts that were entered just for regular competition. It was pretty massive, especially in comparison to ours. We're small time, but that's all right. We're working our way up. So
Sure.
So here you go and you see some quilts. There's the lobby display. Mm-hmm. And we have how many artists in the lobby display?
we have 4 artists, 6 quilts.
And they're
So.
they're not necessarily in the competition. I think one of them she entered. Didn't Dawn enter hers?
Yes, she entered 1 and she put 2 out just for display, not really as a competitor, but yeah. So we have a few for
You'll
people to
see
see.
any kind of quilt that you want to see.
So do you have the this person that shows up and you're like, oh, they're gonna win something for sure this year, like the pro. Somebody always shows up and they just do amazing.
They win every
work.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of those. There's a couple that had usually entered, and over a few years, the show's kind of gotten a little bit less participation, but we're trying to change that and get it, better participation in the future. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple people that are nationally win nationally.
Recognized.
Yeah. There's one girl, Jackie Corey, and she's had a quilt in the Houston show. Mm-hmm. And just getting in the Houston show is amazing. It's juried, and you have to send a picture in, and then they say, well, yeah, you can come in the show. And, of course, it's competition from all over the world, so you have your stiff competition, and just being in it is saying something.
You say the Houston show, is that like a Houston quilt show, or is that this month because the Houston rodeo is this month and it's also the quilt? So is that part of the rodeo that happens every year?
No.
Okay.
It's in the fall. It's
Okay.
And it's
I didn't know if they combined it like
international quilt show. So
Okay.
it's big. I would love to go one day.
Yeah, I bet.
Yes.
Awesome. So
Big
it's going on this week, and can they buy tickets at the website, and then I'm sure in the gift shop too.
In the gift shop, we don't have it set up on the website.
Okay.
But yeah, they can go in the gift shop and buy a ticket, and whenever they buy their admission ticket, they can submit their name to win the opportunity quilt, which it's hanging in our lobby right now. If they want to come in and see it, but the Cherokee Blossom Quilt Guild quilted it for us, and they donated it for the quilt show so that we can give it away at the end. And we'll be doing a drawing on the 23rd on Thursday. So, yeah.
And viewer's choice.
Yes, we'll also
Okay.
be doing the Ruth Hale Viewers Choice Award.
So everybody that goes has a vote.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They can vote
So you
on
got to
which
go
one
and
they like.
vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you're a museum member, do you get a discount on the ticket? I know-
Yes,
okay.
yes, you do.
Which is pretty typical. I know Joey was here last time touting the benefits of museum membership,
Yeah.
and here's another one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, anything else, Susan? I don't see any needles on thread in front of you, so
Well, we brought her today.
Yeah.
You get this.
Yes,
you
you
get the
do. You
Okay,
get
which way are we going? Right
Quilt
here.
Show catalog, and we have a list of
It has-
all of the quilts that are submitted and a quilter statement, which is just their little story about their quilt, which some of them are really quite interesting.
Can you see that?
So
yeah, little sponsorship in there.
Yeah, see
there
that?
you go.
Yeah, we're proud to sponsor that, and we've got this new segment with the Hyderhangout going on. Susan's coming in pretty regular now. And
Monday and Friday.
Yep.
Came in this Wednesday because you guys were unavailable last Friday.
Yeah, we were at Arnold Career Day.
Watch some of
on
those videos. They're
location.
pretty cool.
We had a lot of fun that day.
It was fun.
We've got Jay and I are learning a thing or two. We might be able to fix my britches, right?
Well,
I'll bring mine. You can
at
fix
the
it.
end, maybe we'll have y'all do a quilt and have a competition.
We were talking about the WTMB quilt. Maybe I'll have to enter it for next year's quilt show.
Oh, that would be cool.
We're trying to figure out what we're going to do on it, but we got stalled at who's actually going to get to use the quilt
Oh, yeah.
because
that's
there's
the
so many people
problem.
involved
Yeah.
here. They're going to be fighting over it.
Be like that.
See?
See, yeah, we knew he was going to fight over it. Yeah, but the problem is he going to participate in putting something in it?
We'll have to see.
Yeah, he'll have to make a block.
Jay's already picked out the batting.
Yeah.
I've got to pick the binding.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to catch myself up on some of the videos.
I know.
I'm a little behind.
Watch the one where Susan uses the shank. That's a good one.
Okay.
That just sounds
It's a little
interesting.
violent, but
Sounds like it.
Well, it's better than this one.
yeah. See?
Goodness. Whew.
That's SUI,
I don't think I'm gonna.
sewing under the influence of cold medicine.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Well, anything at the museum that, again, sorry, we skipped over this. Kind of tell us your role there at the museum.
Oh, yeah. I'm the curator of collections. I deal with the exhibits and I keep up with all the collections, making sure everything is kept and preserved. And but we have right now in our lobby we have College Hill, and it will be closing soon at the end of this month, and we'll be opening up a new one called War Memorials, which will highlight 7 major wars starting at the Revolutionary War and ending on current day. Actually, for the Quilt Show, we've had to take down our agriculture exhibit, which we have named Grown and Bred in East Tennessee. But it will be coming back up as soon as the Quilt Show goes back down. But yeah, it's in our larger temporary exhibit space. But after that, we will have an exhibit called Dixie Foundry Magic Chef, which actually this year, 2017, is 100 years in July since Dixie Foundry actually physically started their business, and they had the first fire, so to speak. So.
Oh wow,
And they
that'd
started,
be interesting.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, that's a little teaser of things coming up there.
There you
So
go.
cool. Sounds like it's gonna be a fun year at the museum.
Yeah.
Yes. Love the museum.
Yep.
Good neighbors, and I love going. I wish I could go over there more often, but you know, you run a business, you're in the business. You know that. You don't go anywhere but here, do you?
Yeah, typically. Well, I think that unless you got anything else, we'll go ahead and take a break.
I have one quick commercial. St. Patrick's Day is today.
Yes.
So all week we have green fabric, any green fabric with green on it is 17% off at Hyderhangout. And then our actual St. Patrick's fabric is 40% off.
Okay.
So we have a few fabrics that are
Cool. So that
Actual St.
will go on till tomorrow. Yeah. What is
till
it?
next week.
Oh, through next week.
Yeah, starting
Awesome.
starting today through next Friday.
Okay. Very good. St. Patrick's Day sales going on now at the Hyder Hangout, which is located on First Street Square in downtown Cleveland, Tennessee. Historic or beautiful or both. Downtown Cleveland, Tennessee, across Emmons Street from the museum, kind of behind the Catch restaurant there, right beside Trailhead Bikes. So if you have any questions about anything to do with quilting and then everything else, sewing, fabric, everything, you need to talk to Susan Hyder at Hyder Hangout.
That's right.
Okay, thanks, Emily, for coming in today.
Yeah.
Telling us about the museum.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.